Hi friends, welcome to Creating and Recrafting, an open collaboration that is hosted by my friend Carol at Carol's Recrafted Boutique and myself, Creating with Jovi. If you would like to join in, please do so. If you're here just to check out our videos, then welcome, and be sure to check out our collaborators. They will be listed in both of our description boxes. Today we're going to take this old ceiling fan and make it look new. And next we're going to clean all of the parts. We will use a solution of 50% water, 50% vinegar, white vinegar, and 1 drop of dish soap. And then I'll just use a cloth and rinse that off as well. Next you'll want to gather your supplies. You'll want paint brushes, paints in the color palette that you prefer, and also permanent markers. I switched over to a little bit of a darker color for this piece. But you can see how easily the paint goes on. And if you want it to look thicker, you can just add a second coat once your first coat has dried, which actually doesn't take long at all. I have some interesting ideas for this piece. I think I'm going to use this nickel color around the edge here. I'm using a solid black for this section here, and then I'll go over this little lip with the black also. So for this top edge I'm using a metallic black. It's called Black Pearl. I don't know if you can tell on camera that it's different than the pearl I used in the center area, or the black I should say. But it is a little different. So I'm just using it for contrast and interest so that the whole thing wasn't just plain black. I didn't want that. And some people might prefer that, but I like to mix things up a little bit. So this is the big piece, and when it's on the ceiling, when we look up, this is the part that we will see. And of course we'll see the outside too. You can see that this is mostly brownish gold. This is definitely brown, a dark brown. So we're going to use black, gray, nickel, silver on this part. You may be wondering how we're going to get the paint into the nooks and crannies up in here and change that gold to silver or whatever color. So I took a little bit of paint and I put it in the cup, and I put just a few drops of water in there. You can see a little bit. I'm going to stir it up. It makes it pretty liquidy, but it's not dripping off of my brush. But it more easily goes into the little nooks and crannies. Kind of have to do a little bit of dabbing, but you can work it in there. See how much more color is in there now? So I'm going to work at this for a little bit and bring you back when we're ready for some accents. Now I'm just going to carefully add some highlights, and it's real easy. I just put a little tiny bit of paint on my brush, and then very lightly just touch over these areas that I want highlighted. And as long as I don't put too much pressure, then the paint just ends up on the high spots. And if you didn't get enough where you wanted it, just go over it again. But I think that looks pretty good. So then I just move down to the next section and do the same thing. Time for the fan blades. I have big plans for these fan blades, but we're gonna just start with painting over this ornate stuff here. And later on, once we're done with the painting part, then I'm going to do some decoupage on the rest of it, which I think will end up looking pretty cool. For a little added interest, we are going to decoupage our paper. I have old encyclopedia paper, and I'm going to decoupage that to the fan blades. I'm placing the paper on top of the decoupage and pressing it down. Then once I get that completely covered, I will trim the edges with the scissors, and then I will use a file to file off the extra. So that you can't tell that the paper is straight across there, and if you look at that, you could see what I was talking about. I'm just going to take the paint and kind of feather it over the edge of the paper, and that way it blends it all together really nicely. All of the pieces are now painted. Now it is time for me to put it together. Well, not me. I'm going to have my hubby put it together and install it into my new craft room. Also, I want to let you guys know that next month's theme is going to be DIY kitchen decor. So fix something up that you've got in your kitchen. Here it is, friends. I love the way it looks in my room. When I do my room reveal, of course, I'll show it to you again, but I appreciate you spending some time with me. Thanks for watching. See you soon.